All right, so we're recording. Okay, I'm Dr. Jesse Brown. If we haven't met before, then I'll introduce myself as the director of the Wholistic Training Institute, which is a state licensed school, state licensed naturopathic school. I started Detroit Holistic Center in 1987, and my staff and I serviced over 60,000 people with holistic services. Colon hydrotherapy, some weight loss, and several other related holistic methodologies and consulting and such. And through the Holistic Training Institute, which we got licensed actually in 1999. And initially we were teaching the holistic health methods and practices that we were offering at the Detroit Holistic Center, but that expanded to a naturopathic plan. One of our most popular courses is in herbology. So I'll be talking more about that later and what that can afford people as well. So over some of these sessions, we've been talking about some of the hottest industries, how people can make a difference, make impact in their lives, their loved ones, in the lives of others, as well as make money. Because the two go hand in hand. Here's the thing: someone once asked, what do we need to do in order to stop the drugs, the illegal drugs, and many of these problems that we're having with the street stuff, right? It poured into our community at one point and is at the root of many of the problems we have. And I said, well, one, take the profit out of it. If there's no profit in something, it's pretty much going to go away on its own. You can try to make it illegal and do all types of things, but take the profit out of it. One of the main reasons why drugs proliferate, or alcohol, or tobacco usage, or any number of negative behaviors or things that undermine our health and well-being, is because there's profit. There's so much money in it that you can't wish it away, will it away, or legislate it away. So I've been speaking about, and you'll be able to check these videos out on YouTube. I talk about the natural products industry, and this time we're talking about online training and AI and things that are trending, things that are growing, things that are able to enhance our lives and help us to make a living, or to prosper and do things in our communities that are positive and make positive differences. Okay, so one, as I get a little sip there, online training. Now, some people may say, online training, what does that have to do with me? Well, if you've got a skill, if you've got something that you've learned over time, and you see a problem, you see problems out there, you say, these young people can't cook. These young people, or people don't know how to drive, or any number of things. When you identify a problem, and I want you to continue to identify problems, identify challenges, but see them and reframe them as opportunities. Because for every business is just an entity that solves problems for a profit. That's what a business is. So if there were no problems, there wouldn't be no businesses that, they could come up with solutions to solve and to make money from that. So when people have problems, when businesses have problems, when governments have problems, or whatever, okay, when nations have problems, they're looking for resolution to that. And if they haven't found a solution to that, then they typically pay other people to resolve that. Somebody doesn't want to prepare food, so they're willing to pay a restaurant or somebody do food prep, okay, and on and on. So online training takes it to the point where people are creating businesses, teaching people how to solve problems, how to solve their problems, the path, the road, something many times that they've gone through or they've researched, learned, you have some subject matter expertise in. And guess what? And that's practically all of us. As people are doing online classes on flying a drone, on practically anything that you can think of that people want to learn to do. Somebody wants to learn how to crochet and they're doing that online. So technology has gotten us to the point where we can teach all types of skills. People can learn how to cook. People can learn how to cook and clean and operate a computer. Many of these things that you've been seeing on YouTube or that you've been Googling and looking for can be turned into our online classes or can be turned into online classes. So I'm going to talk about the online training industry. And of course, you know, my emphasis is health and wellness and is going to continue to be. And so there's some people are going to pair in the understanding of health and wellness and nutrition and herbs, et cetera, and natural practices with online training as we are through the Wholistic Training Institute. So who knows, from this call, there may very well be more instructors and more ideators, more creators that join us through the Wholistic Training Institute as a result. So first of all, the definition, the online training industry is a rapidly growing industry. In fact, it's I believe it said $93 billion or so, at least in revenue, that's growing tremendously. It's growing by double digits every year. And the projections, I believe, for 2020. Okay, yeah, I give you the projections as well, but this is digital training and education through the internet. This includes online courses, workshops, and training programs, which can be accessed from anywhere, anytime, on any device. So anytime you can say, okay, I can go to my computer, I can go to my phone and learn something. Any place where they have an internet connection and they've got a phone. Many of these programs are getting so sophisticated that they'll translate into other languages. So you can have them, have the information converted to other languages besides just English or in addition to English. The overview of the growth industry. The online training industry has been growing steadily over the past decade. And the COVID-19 pandemic, and I tell you, I really saw this because going from 2020 to 2021, my enrollment for the Wholistic Training Institute just in the first quarter quadrupled. So the interest in inquiries that I've gotten continue to increase, and I get people regularly who are enrolling online. So the COVID-19 has accelerated the growth. And that's not going to stop. According to a report by e-learning industry, the global e-learning market is expected to reach $325 billion by 2025, with what they call a compound annual growth rate of 7.07 from 2021 to 2025. So what does that mean? Just kind of in plain English, it means it's growing rapidly and it's going to continue to grow rapidly. Similar to what I was sharing about, and you'll see in another video about the natural products industry. The growth is going to happen over the next decade or so, or even less than a decade. Is going to be unprecedented. So if you can teach something or learn to teach something, that will be key going forward. Importance of artificial intelligence. So here I'm going to kind of, pair these. The artificial intelligence or AI in the industry is becoming increasingly important with online training. AI can personalize learning experience, adapt assessments and feedback, and even create and curate content. So here's the thing is that there are people, and no doubt there are people who will be viewing this video who will say, well, I don't, I may know this. I may know how to prepare food. I may know how to clean, but I don't know something else or something else. And I would need help with that. Well, AI or artificial intelligence is going to help to fill in that niche and give you a silent assistant, a silent, non-judgmental assistant to help you do that. And I tell you, I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to says, I got this idea, I got this great idea, I got this $1 million idea, but I'm not telling nobody because people will steal your ideas. Well, here's the thing is you can give it to AI, you can plug that in, and you don't necessarily have to tell someone. Now, I believe in telling people what I'm up to. It is quite a bit, okay? Because frankly, many people don't get their own stuff done, much less steal somebody else's. If you really have an original idea and you've thought it through, somebody else, if you mention it to somebody else, doesn't mean they've thought it through, or they're going to take the time, energy, and commitment to do that. However, but with AI, it can enhance the learner engagement and motivation, improve learning outcomes, increase efficiency and scalability. You've actually got not just one person, you've got more like a researcher, a virtual assistant, you've got creator, you've got editors, you've got probably equivalent to at least six people, what would be 6 people who will be helping you with this. And big dreams need big teams. So AI becomes part of that team. And that could be the part of the team during the formative stage or during all stages of it, stages of great growth and development and all that, okay? Growth of the online training industry, historical background. The online training industry has been around for several decades. First online course was University of Illinois in 1982. However, the industry really took off in the early 2000s with the introduction of learning management systems and platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning. Current trends and statistics increase. There's been an increase in online learning platforms. The number of online learning platforms has been growing steadily over recent years. The market is expected to have 2.7 billion users by 2025. 2.7 billion. The rise in demand for e-learning, again, spurred by COVID. And COVID, here's something else that COVID did. It made e-learning necessary for youth. I've got a grandson who was in middle school at the time, and now he's in high school. And so he had to take classes online. Okay, so people working online. So guess what? If you're working online and they say, we've got a training workshop that you need, we got mandatory training, your mandatory training was online. And then the market, and then they say the online training. So it's just going to, online training is just going to be, it's just going to continue to trend tremendously. Factors driving the growth: flexibility and convenience. For many people, I've spoken to some people this week who said, Dr. Brown, I can't be in your live class, but I want to take the class anyway. Can I take that from where I am? When I first started, most of my classes were in-house. In fact, all of my classes were in-house. And then it grew past that because there were people from other states, and I was getting people referred, and everybody, by the time you factor in, flights, taking off time from work, hotel accommodations and all that. It's not flexible. It's not convenient. Classes are all held only, certain times, whereas online training offers the flexibility, convenience, letting people work on their own pace. Some people will take information in quickly and some more slowly. And then there's a wide range of topics and courses on all types of areas. And it is more, I'll say, flexible. It's more adaptive, innovative, and faster than what you'll find at a college or university. Okay. And I have, of course, studied at university as well. And typically what happens is somebody has an idea, they say, oh, such and such is trending, such and such is real hot. Let's have a, class on that. And they say, okay, write up a proposal and send it to the department head. And the department head will take it to the, and it's got to go through all this bureaucracy. So here it is, somebody has an idea that's great and it's hot, right now, and it takes 6 months, a year, if it ever gets approved, and then put into the catalog, the curriculum and the catalog, and it's got to go through all that. For smaller schools, for smaller, more adaptive schools like the Wholistic Training Institute, or for, sometimes community colleges operate pretty quickly. But for the most part, it's a long drawn out process. So here it is again, AI is something that's hot, but yeah, no telling when you'll see classes on artificial intelligence on the university level. And many times they put so many other, it's like you got to take all these prerequisites. No, I just want to learn this particular thing. So online training allows you to adapt more quickly, lower cost typically. If you want to get a degree at a college or university, you are going to come out of pocket. You're going to apply and you're going to need accepted and it's going to cost a lot, and it's going to take a long time. So lower cost, greater opportunities. And here's something that I believe there'll be a particular interest in people who are checking this out and have inquired about the Wholistic Training Institute, what we offer. But offer opportunities in the online training industry for health coaches, consultants, and counselors. As tremendous. As a person who's been in business for over 30 years, I've seen more inquiries for individual as well as group coaching, counseling, consulting, mentorship, all that whole category. And online training allows you to do that. And this is something, and I'm saying what I in the school will be doing as we go forward as well. The need is there. And so this is a way of fulfilling that, right? It's like, I'm not going back to a brick and mortar. I don't want to go to brick and mortar. Somebody asked me recently, Doc, will you, can you teach over here? If you consider that? I said, I may consider it, but I love the flexibility. I love the ability to automate, to innovate, to adapt and change, make improvements, and with the flexibility of the online training instead. The reaching a wider audience that you can provide your services with. When in a brick and mortar, speaking from experience, in a brick and mortar, you can only see certain people. You can only see a certain number of people in those particular hours. Okay, so we're restricted by time and space and location. I wasn't seeing people from California and in Arizona and Texas, etc., from Detroit. Okay, online training allows you to reach more people from a wider geographic area. You can provide personalized coaching and guidance. And as things get automated, people are going to do more of that virtually. The online training programs can be used to provide personalized coaching and guidance to learners, helping them to achieve their goals more effectively. There's no travel, there's no commute, and there's no, as long as both parties can operate a computer, know how to get on and off and such, it doesn't diminish the quality or the effectiveness of the training, and then increasing revenue and profitability, because you can provide additional revenue streams, increase profitability for coaches, consultants, counselors. So when we're talking about seeing more people from a wider geographic area, from different demographics as well, because here's the thing, if the demographics in your particular area, I mean, that which constitutes and says, is this male, female, what kind of work do they do, what, all those types of things. If the ideal demographic was not in your local area, then you could easily reach out to people in other places that meet that demographic wherever they are in the world. And you can even, I'll say, even poll and look at where there are various needs to be able to fulfill that. Okay, so you get a much wider audience, more streams of revenue, and probably everybody has heard of multiple streams of income. And say, oh, you need multiple streams of income. You can't just have one. Don't just be locked in by a job or one particular thing. Multiple streams of income is good in a sense, or can be good. But I'm going to give a talk on this, do a video on this another time, on the upside and the downside of that, where focus is very important. Finding your niche is important. As they say, the niches, the riches are in the niches, but also being congruent and having things tied together is vitally important as well. Because if you say, I do real estate, and then I do whatever, and I'm a golf coach and I do this, if you're doing a number of different things, sometimes I just get spread too thin, and that's not as effective as looking at a core area, having a core focus, and being able to expand from that. Okay, I provide a service, and from that service, I have an aspect of that service which is consulting, and I have, and from that there may be a physical product that comes from that, or there may be a book, or books. Okay, and then there's a course, and on and on. That's still multiple streams. That's different streams of income, but coming from a core base. I'll speak about that in another video. Speakers and trainers, man, a good friend of mine in long-term or client from years ago, Les Brown. Les Brown shared with me, he told in my office one day, he basically asked me, like, how many people can you see, I mean, and he wasn't asking that to find out, it's like, how many people do I see in a day, or trying to dip or something like that. What he was basically sharing with me was that I was limited for me to see people one-on-one, I was extremely limited. It's like, even if I said, oh, I'm not going to work 8 hours, I'm going to work 16 hours a day. There's a finite number of people that I can see and service in that period of time. But if I spoke to, for example, we're talking about speaking and training, but speaking, how many people can I speak to at a time? I can speak to 10, 20, 50, 100, hundreds, thousands at one time, and virtually and through online training, it grows exponentially because you can record and people can see that. It grows those numbers exponentially. And that's why Les has got 1 million people or so that's following him. And Tabitha Brown has got, when I spoke to her last year, it was about 14 million. Nobody can see 14 million clients, but you can reach 14 million people virtually. And you can, and have, with the same, with a message, you know, and the video and such isn't going to get tired. It's not going to forget points. It's going to, it's duplicable. It's, it can do a lot more than you can do as an individual. Okay. Then let's see, speakers, trainer, you can deliver virtual presentations and workshops, reaching audiences around the world, expand your reach globally, shared about that, and increase brand visibility and credibility. The more people who know about you, the better you do. So when people ask me, and as I've asked and listened to people who are doing multi-millions in business and scaling and all these things, what they say is, if you're not making enough money, you're not helping enough people. Okay. If you're not making enough money, if you're not making what you want to, then you're not helping enough people. The more people you can effectively help and reach, the more people you can solve problems for, the more people can get your message and see you utilizing social media and video and the technology that we have. And technology today is as advanced as it's ever been, okay, or more advanced than it's ever been. And it allows us to do so much. I mean, right here, right now, which will be a video, will go on another platform, and it could go on another and another and another, and depending on how it's shared, it can become viral. It can live. It can live for 20, 30 years. Okay. So in fact, in the future, somebody might be looking, it might very well be looking on this after I've passed away. It can still live there, just like recordings and music. So it's got potential to help in the here and now, as well as in the future, not restricted by time or space. Business owners with products or services need to use online. They say an educated consumer or customer is a great customer. The more educated. The reason why we saw over 60,000 people over the years is because people were telling people, they were telling other people. So, and one of the things I did early on was do a video. The first video that I had on the center, I shot it myself, got a camera, set it up, shot it myself, edited and put it out there. And we record, you know, we were sharing that with online classes. You can do that even more so. Will grow exponentially. And with things like affiliate marketing, where people can get paid, they can get compensated, they can work in partnership with others. You can sell somebody else's products or services and boost that. It allows for more commerce. It allows for more people to participate and help. And that's those are the underpinnings of pretty much any successful business. It's not just what you can do individually. It's what you and your team, and then others and others and others and others do as well. So products and services provide value, increase customer engagement, and loyalty is another benefit to online training. It also helps business owners provide training and support to the customers. So you can teach, you know, you got a product, you got a service, you can teach them how to use it. You can innovate and have other people share their testimony or share how they utilize it that helps them as well. So engagement, loyalty, and on and on. Okay, so those are, wow. I know we started a little late, but so why do people take courses? Professional development, personal development, self-improvement, health and wellness, nutrition, fitness, stress management, very high up on there, personal finance and investing, academic courses. So a lot of this, I'll summarize by saying, a lot of the courses that are available online, I know I talked about the educational part and the training, and you can get degrees, and or the colleges and universities are utilizing online training, but people are investing substantial amounts of time, energy, and resources, their money, on things that they don't get a certificate, they don't get a degree or whatever. It's just practical. It's like, I want to learn another language. I want to learn how to fly a drone. I want to do something. So you got a market for people who need training and certification. They need the credibility that allows them to make money or to start a business. And then you have that empowerment. So you got empowerment, but you also got the employment and on the entrepreneurial aspect as well. And the way the AI comes along with that as well. If you're not familiar with the AI platforms that are out there, I'm not endorsing any particular one. I've used a couple of them, and I understand there are a number of them. But and I utilize AI to help me with the presentation. Say, okay, I want to get information on this, that, and the other thing. The possibilities on what you can do utilizing AI are virtually limitless. Virtually limitless. So I'm going to say, kind of in my close here, that I want to encourage you to, one, find a problem that exists in society. Okay, so listen to your hear or what comes out of your mouth and what other people are saying is a problem, but do, they say the optimist sees an opportunity in every problem. The pessimist sees a problem in every opportunity. I want you to be that optimist and see where there are solutions to that, to that. So you say, oh, that's a problem. What do you think the solution is for that? And when somebody, and if you have those, what they call them, people who complain about things always, they can find the negative in anything. Ask them, say, what do you think the solution to that would be? How would you resolve that? Let's brain, you can brainstorm on that and find other people to brainstorm with. Find positive people. Find people who are innovative and such. Find some other people to be in your tribe and to work with you so that you can make some changes, provide value, and get compensated for it as well. Because I know that you and many of the people who are going to utilize this information are going to do as many entrepreneurs do. They're going to take this information and they're going to make money from it, generate money that they're going to be able to help other people, help social causes and such as well. Okay, so I'm going to pause there. I'm going to close by saying that one, this video will be available on YouTube, on our YouTube platform. Two, I do want you to enroll, subscribe to our newsletter, and follow us on the social media applications as well. And again, I implore each one of you to support the Wholistic Training Institute as we endeavor to train healers in every home, in every family, in every community, because I believe that the answer to our problems are in our hands, and they're closer to us than we realize. It's not the medical system and the government and all that's going to do it. They move pretty slowly. Nobody cares more about you, your loved ones, your community than you do. So let's make a difference. Utilize online training in artificial intelligence. Utilize the tools that are out here for the good that they can do. And do some good in the world. As Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in the world. Be the change. All right. And with this, I will